Hello everyone. I focus on the modern problems that middle class people confront today, especially those that have to do with striking a balance between work, partner, and societal expectation. I can relate to the many difficulties in negotiating these interactions in our fast-paced environment. Being a middle-class partner myself, I hope to clarify the various social classes and class conflicts that affects our decisions, attitudes, and relationships in everyday life through this conversation. How do you manage work-life balance while ensuring quality time with your partner?
Sa akin kasi, ang ginagawa ko niyan, halimbawa, for the entire day, work lang, or akads lang, or whatsoever. Pero more on ano yan, personal growth ang lumalabas. So let's say na from the moment I wake up, meron tayong ano yan. Nag-aalat ako siguro ng mga an hour or 30-minute stops. Pero sinasabihan ko naman muna yung partner ko kung ano bang activity ko for the day. Siyempre, kasama na rin yung understanding niya sa part niya para malaman niya naman na may pinagkakabisihan, pinagkakabalahan din naman ako. Then after nung work ko na yun, pag may extra time, then gising pa siya, eh din saka ko lang din binibigay sa kanya yung time. Or kapag may mga times na talagang kailangan niya ako, or sabi natin yung mga burst of emotions, alam naman natin yung mga mood swings or what. Ayun, nagbibigay din naman ako ng ano.
By being flexible. By being flexible is be willing to be flexible and make compromise when there's something are necessary to do. So you can have quality time with your partner and have work time.
So kasi personally yung ginagawa ko kasi is nakikipag-communicate ako openly sa partner. So para nababalance pa rin naman yung time sa work tsaka yung time sa kanya. And syempre kailangan may time pa rin ako para sa family and yung sa sarili.
For me, dapat mag-set tayo ng boundaries. So, dapat natin mag-establish ng clear boundaries para kapag nasa work tayo, focus lang tayo sa work. And then, pagka naman kasama natin yung partner natin, dapat mag-focus lang tayo din sa partner natin.
In the face of growing living expenses, how do you manage financial difficulties and maintain stability for your partner?
Financial difficulties. Kasi it all falls down sa budgeting talaga. Kung gusto nyong stable kayo, both. Pero kasi yung iba, depende siguro sa pag-partner. Pero sa akin kasi, since di naman kami magka-live-in, ang ginagawa ko na lang is nag-aalala talaga ako ng pera for dates, for out of towns, ganyan, para sa aming dalawa. Then syempre, nakahiwalay lang din naman yung para sa akin for personal use, for family. Kasi ang hirap naman yun kung halimbawa wala ka nang cash, sabay bubunot ka pa for dates, parang ang ang unethical niyang gawin. Money wise, di ba? So, ang mangyayari niyan, talagang difficult talaga kasi wala ka namang pera, gumala ka pa. So, yan.
Create a detailed budget on how you spend your money and where the money came from, and you need to create an outline for your income and expenses and your saving goals.
Ang pinaka-importante kasi is yung sa balancing ng personal expenses as well as yung priorities. So, ang ipina-priority kasi pagka nagba-budget ka, syempre yung mga importanteng mga expenses muna. Tapos, yung mga matitira mong budget, isiaalat natin para sa mga needs. So, ang example niyan is yung food expense, tapos yung travel expense mo, kung medyo malayo yung work.
Open communication. Dapat magkaroon tayo ng open communication and discuss natin sa partner natin yung financial situation natin. And dapat maging transparent tayo sa isa't isa pagdating sa mga gastos natin.
How does an individual's social status or class influence your vulnerability to peer pressure?
Sa akin, kasi nag-develop ako ng mentality na who cares parang ganun. Anong pake ko? Like, I don't care kung anong isipin nila sa akin. Kung wala talaga akong may lalabas, ba't ko ipipilit, di ba? For the sake lang na makasabay ba sa kanila, ganun. In other words, parang yung influence is less likely pagdating sa akin. Kasi kung ano ko, yun lang talaga yung ipapakita ko, or yun lang talaga yung ipoproduce ko. Kasi kung wala naman, anong pipigay natin?
I think the most vulnerable people are the one who are in the lower class, since kahit gagawin nila kahit ano para lang makapagkaroon ng pera or maging financial stable.
Ako personally, I think that those who are in lower class or status, sila yung nakaka-receive ng pressure para maging yung acceptance dun sa mga tao na nakapalibot sa kanila.
Para sa akin, yung mga most vulnerable is yung mga nasa lower class kasi mas nape-pressure sila gawin yung mga bagay-bagay para ma-reach yung upper class level.
How do you handle financial stress? Do you have financial planning or budgeting techniques?
Sige. Total dalawang questions, capture natin. Yung sa financial stress minsan kasi, halimbawa, wala ka na talagang mapuntahan, ganyan, stress ka na. Iyak ka muna saglit. Hindi naman masama. Hindi naman yung iyak na parang pighati ganun or sobrang lungkot mo. Yung parang meron ka lang alone time. Yung parang ano ka lang muna, anong tawag nila dito? Meditation time, ganyan. Meditate ka muna. Then afterwards, saka ka lang din kasi nag-clear up yung thoughts mo eh. Saka ka lang makaka-strategize eh. Sa akin naman, yung budgeting technique ko is allotment talaga kagad ng cash. Ano ba, may dumating sa akin pera, iba-budget ko na siya kagad kung para saan ba siya dapat. Siguro kung sa working status, kung working na yung status mo, better kung meron kang multiple bank accounts. Tapos i-separate mo yung para sa allowances, para sa bills, ganyan. Para hindi mo talaga sila magagalaw. Tapos kung may extra ka, di time deposit.
My recommendation about that is you need to make a list of your income, expenses, and debt and savings. This is where you need to understand where your money is going so that it can help you on how to manage it properly.
So, like I said earlier, yung budgeting natin is pinaprioritize muna lahat ng kailangan. Tapos, lastly, kung may mga matitira pa, is yun yung magiging savings mo or emergency fund.
Dapat pinaprioritize natin yung mga expenses natin. So dapat ina-identify natin kung ano yung mga importanteng pagkagastusan para ay dapat ina-identify natin yung mga importanteng pagkagastusan and then ina-identify natin yung mga bagay na hindi naman masyadong importante para hindi muna natin doon ilagay yung mga pera.
What's your stand to social rejection or criticism because of financial circumstances?
Sa akin, I don't stand with it, no? Siyempre kasi bakit mo nga naman i-reject or i-criticize yung tao dahil lang sa niya, sa dami ng pera niya or sa dami ng income niya. Kasi tingnan natin, although yes, maraming mga taong lumalaki na walang pera, pero na-outgrow naman yun eh. Kumbaga, syempre, pag tumanda ka na, nakahanap ng trabaho, meron kang sarili mong income. So, bakit may kikriticize? Yung iba naman siguro kasi ang iniisip nila na kapag mas mababa lang sa kanila, is automatic na lower class na or mas mababa lang yung income, parang na kagad, nakakadiri na tingnan. Ayan yung nakakalungkot lang na part eh. Kasi, hindi nila nakikita yung effort ng tao para ma-overcome niya yung current circumstance niya, di ba? So, bakit mo kailangan i-criticize? Bakit mo kailangan hiyain? So, kaya, yun yung stand ko sa kanya. I don't stand with criticizing other people because of their circumstances.
There's no need to be criticized based on your financial status because not anyone has the same opportunity as you or
I do think na it's a shame that some people are rejected based on their social class or social status. Kasi I think that all people should be treated the same regardless of their financial status.
Para sa akin, mali yung i-judge yung isang tao based sa financial status nila. Dapat, kailangan natin i-treat yung isa't isa na the same level and kailangan natin unawain din kung gaano natin gustong unawain tayo ng ibang tao din kapag tayo yung nasa nasa situation na yun.
As our conversation comes to an end, it is clear that managing complicated environment of difficulties and demands is a part of being middle-class partner. Every element impacts our experiences and influences our journey, from juggling work and family obligations to dealing with societal expectation and financial pressures. But in the midst of these difficulties, we must acknowledge the power and resilience that are inherent to every one of us. Through the narrative return, mutual encouragement and policy advocacy, we can work toward a fairer and more inclusive community where the middle class experience is acknowledged and appreciated. Let's continue to move courageously and compassionately together as we manage the currents of today's issues.